How are you, everyone? My name is Michael. I'm Carpigiani specialist from Lotus Food Service. Today, we'd like to present to you Carpigiani models and Hiber blast freezer and Gelato Showcase. Yeah, we'd like to present to you the first model. It's called Ready 2030 DF. This model, you can pasteurize the base up to 5 liters, and you can batch the gelato up to 5 liters. As you can see on the control panel, you can batch, you can mix, you can pasteurize. It comes with a cleaning water hose and all the other functions. You can control the texture consistency as well. And next model you can see, this is probably the flagship model of the Carpigiani. It's called Maestro. As you can see, many more buttons than Ready model. You can make gelato, slush, all the sauces from pastry side, and the semifreddo, chocolate tempering. You can do about 30 programs from gelato side and pastry side. Of course, it comes with the water hose for washing and all different kinds of the batching programs. And the next one will be the blast freezer. This from Hiber, also manufactured in Italy. And this can go down to -40, probably in 25 minutes. And you can blast freeze the gelato in 10 minutes. Showcase from Italy. It's called, the brand name is IFI. The model name is Beat 680. It comes with a double glazed glass door. It looks very special. And you can put in 5-liter narrow pan gelato inside, which is about a total of 30 kg inside. And the temperature can go down to maximum -25 degrees. And also you can keep it next to a swimming pool, you can go onto the beach, it's mobilized. We're gonna have a chef, James. He's gonna perform the demo on Mac 3 products.
Hello everyone, my name is James and I'm the gelato chef here in Lotus Food Services. And for today, I would like to explain to you a little bit of Mac 3, which is the company from Italy that provides gelato ingredients and pastry. Now here they have a wide range of gelato ingredients, pastry that you can use for many sorts of things. And the one we're gonna focus on today is panna base, as well as semifreddo. Also, one thing I would like to mention is Lotus Food Services is the official importer and distributor of Mac 3. So if you're looking to buy some Mac 3, we got you covered. So I would like to introduce my assistant today that will help me on making some of our gelato as well as pastry. So,
hello, Jim.
Hi, Leah. So for today, we will prepare just on making our panna base. So in order to start off, I would like to briefly talk about this panna base. So for gelato white base, we need our base 50, if not our base 100, which is our suave product. But for today, since we're not gonna pasteurize anything, we're just gonna make our panna base. Now, the thing with Mac 3 is very simple. All the recipes are already on the actual packaging. So it's very efficient because it's very user-friendly. So from person A to person B, they can just look at the packaging and know the recipe straight away. Before we begin preparing our white base, we have to take the proper consideration of our health and safety. Because we are today's world, hygiene matters more than ever due to COVID-19. So before we begin, Leah and I will prepare our proper gear, which will be the hand glove, our hair net, and also we have to sanitize. Okay? So first we'll put on our hair net. Sanitizer. And then our hand glove. Now, because we are dealing with a lot of dairy products, which dairy is very known to be a very sensitive ingredient, sensitive to microbes. So the littlest things help to prevent contamination by just using sanitizer, hand glove, and hairnet. Because who wants hair in their gelato, right? So now we are properly equipped. I will begin in preparing our white base. You gotta have all the equipment already. So we're gonna use our panna base, our fresh milk, some sugar, and our bowl for weighing the ingredients. So Since pana base already has the recipe, we're just gonna follow the standard recipe for today. So it's very simple. All we have to do is just take a look at the recipe, and this is all based on 1 liter. Since today we're making 5 liters, so you have to look that for 1 liter of milk, you need 50 grams of pana base and 250 grams of sugar. So you just multiply that by 5. So for now, before anything, we have to measure the dry ingredients first before we mix with the wet. So for the pana base, all we need is 250 grams. An assistant will help weigh the ingredient. So keep in mind, this is 50 grams per liter, and we're making about 5 liters here. Next is our sugar. Now this is what we're using today is imported sugar. You're more than welcome to use local, but the reason why we use our imported sugar is because it's very clear on the color. Compared to using cane and local sugar, it has a very yellow color to it, and we want pure white base. So no other colors whatsoever to give that pure kind of milk color to it. So for this one, all we need is just put a kilo of sugar in here. Now after already we mix all the dry ingredients together, we're gonna have to mix together the sugar as well as the pana base. Because once you pour in the milk and you didn't mix the dry ingredients, it might curd the ingredients. So keep in mind that you have to also mix not just all of them together, but the dry ingredients first. And plenty of times people ask, can you use anything else other than sugar? Of course. You can use honey, agave, maybe maple syrup. But for today, we're just following the standard recipe from McThree pana base. So we already got about a kilo here. So next is mixing the dry with the wet. So we have another measuring jug here where we pour our dry ingredients here, and then we'll mix it inside this base. Okay? So I will first mix the dry ingredients. You don't have to take too long on this, just make sure it's incorporated and nothing standing out. Okay. Now that is evenly mixed. Now Leah will help me on preparing the whole blending process. Okay, Leah? So as I'm pouring the dry, Leah will blend the ingredients with the milk. Okay? Now the reason why we're using an immersion blender instead of a regular balloon whisk is it's very hard for a balloon whisk to, dissolve the ingredients and make sure they incorporate well. So the reason why we're using this Coupe is to give us a little extra boost on the mixing to give a better, fully mixed ingredient. Now for the white base, it takes probably around a minute for all the ingredients to incorporate together. And because we're using an immersion blender, almost half the time. Now, just like that, our white base is almost ready. Seal the white base so you don't want no external contaminations. So I will just wrap it with a cling wrap. And don't forget to always label your white base, because you're never gonna know who's gonna be working, and maybe someone's get sick. So in order to prevent a lot of miscommunication, you're always gonna label the ingredient here, white base, and the date. Now, after we take this step, we have to let the base age for a minimum of 6 to 72 hours, like back in Italy. So I will place this in the chiller.
James, sebelumnya aku mau nanya nih.
Yes, Leah.
Aging itu apa sih?
Okay, so let me explain a little bit about aging. Think of it in a way where like you're cooking steak. Once you finish cooking a steak, you don't want to instantly use it or eat it. You want to have to let it rest. Same goes for gelato. There's a lot of ingredients that we're playing with here that goes into the base 50. So you gotta have to give it some time for all the sugar, the milk, the fat solids to connect with each other to give that full body that you're looking for of the gelato. That's why if we age at least minimum of 6 or even up to 72 hours, you'll get a better quality gelato instead of you instantly put it in the batch freezer.
James, untuk perbedaannya Panabis sama Suave itu apa ya?
Okay, so let me explain a little bit. So Panabase and Base Suave, they're similar because they are the ingredients is to make the white base. Now, people commonly know Panabase as base 50 and Suave as base 100. Just based on the numbers alone, you can clearly tell that there's a little bit of difference because why? Suave has more ingredients in it compared to Panabase. The reason why Panabase is very desirable product is because the convenience factor of it. In today's world, maybe for you customers out there who have a small working space that you don't have the, you don't have the working area to put a pasteurizer, this would be perfect for you. And maybe one day once you, expand your business, you're looking for maybe a bigger mass production of gelato, then you can move on to Base Suave. So now I will prepare Mec3's favorite and most popular flavor, which is the cookies and cream, using the biscottino paste and as well as the Variegato cookies original. Mec3, like I mentioned before, always have their recommended dosage and ingredients on their packaging. So for the biscottino paste, it's 50 grams per liter of white base, not just milk. So it's already the finished product of white base. I already prepared white base from yesterday, so that's what we'll be using for today. So after a day of aging, this is what the white base will look like. So don't be scared and don't freak out if you see your white base looking like this. All you have to do is just give it a good mix one more time. As you can see, it's thicker than what it was before. Since it's already been aging for 24 hours, the gelato is very thick, the white base gelato, sorry. We will mix the biscottino paste into the white base.
Jadi, untuk perbedaannya pasta sama variegato itu apa ya?
So the difference between variegato and paste is that variegato, so the variegato is an inclusion because you add it into the finished product. Compared to the paste, this is added into the white base. So once the gelato is all ready, then you put in the variegato. But if you ask me, hey, can a variegato be a paste? Sure, but a paste cannot be a variegato. So okay, so we're gonna mix it now. Can you please help? So as I pour the paste, Leah will blend it. Okay. So if you're wondering what is biscottino paste, biscottino, most simply, it's a shortbread paste, to give that characteristic of a cookie flavor. It can be also described as like a very sweet cake. So this is very flexible in terms of what you can add in terms of variegato. So I'm gonna add the rest of the paste here. If you are here with me, you can smell how delicious this paste is. But unfortunately, since it's via online, all you can see is just the color. But actually it's very sweet, very vanilla, very buttery aroma, which is very delicious just from the scent itself. But even tastes better than what it smells like. Okay, there you go, Leah. For mixing the paste, it gives it about, maybe just do it for 1 minute or 30 seconds if you do it rapidly. So once we finish mixing the paste with the white base, we will continue into the batch freezing process. So now I will pour the white base with the biscottino already inside into our batch freezer. So make sure to clean all the sides of the measuring jug to ensure you have very little waste. Okay, that's good. So now, before we start, I would like to invite Pa Mike to explain a little bit of the programs Maestro HE from Carpigiani has to offer.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, Pa Mike.
Okay, now we got 6 buttons on this side. Obviously, when you see an ice cream sign, you press it. It's all about making gelato programs. Gelato excellent meaning when you make a minimum quantity, then we have to go into excellent. Speed, it's gonna to speed up the batching process. It's gonna shorten about 2 minutes. Gelato hard, it's gonna freeze the gelato a little more and the texture will be harder. Gelato simply, that's for the beginners. It guides the beginners. Okay? And then we go into the Sicilian granita. Well, it sounds very Italian, but it's a slush. So instead of going minus 35 inside the cylinder, it'll become minus 6 degree and it'll produce thin ices. Yeah. And then we have to go into sauce programming. Chocolate sauce, cream paste, fruit sauce, all these things. Okay? And next will be, you gotta go into piece of cake sign. And it's all about making custard, Bavarian cream, fruit cream, all these. And the next one is very obvious. You're looking at this piece of chocolate. Yeah, it's gonna be chocolate tempering, chocolate hardening, and that's about it. And then this is a star button. This is a very special programs. Doesn't belong to any of these. So now you press that button, you see semifreddo base, porch, yogurt, infusion. And of course on this side, you're looking at cleaning button, extraction. Now, if you want to use the water hose, you got to press this button first. Then water will come out. Okay? Now you put in how many liters?
So that's about 4.5 or 5.
4.5. Now you cannot go into the Gelato Excellent. You have to go into Gelato Speed. Now Gelato Excellent is only for 1.5 to up to 3 liters. Beyond that, you have to use Gelato Speed. Okay? Chef, why don't you press the OK button so you can start?
So I'll put the program into Gelato Speed. Like Pa Mike mentioned, since I produce more than the minimum quantity, I will have to select the Gelato Speed program. So then we press OK to initiate the batch freezing process. So while we wait for our gelato to finish his batch freezing process, Leah and I will prepare our semi-freddo yogurt parfait. So what we need is 250 grams of cream, 250 grams of milk, 165 grams of the semifreddo from Mac 3, and 20 grams of yogin. So first, put all the dry ingredients into the bowl.
Yogin ini apa sih Kak James?
So yogin, so a very simple product. It's actually just a freeze-dried yogurt. So you get the pure taste of yogurt, but in a powder form. So now yogin, you can also mix with the white base to get maybe a yogurt flavored gelato. You can mix it with sorbet, get a yogurt sorbet for people who are lactose intolerant. But for now, since our main focus is on the parfait, I will use the yogin to make a yogurt semifreddo. Like I mentioned before, wet goes to dry, not dry goes to wet. So I'll just give this a quick mix. Make sure all the dry ingredients are well mixed before we start mixing it. That's good. So I will pour the liquid mixture in here. Okay. So the tool that we use for today to make this is our RoboCoupe. As you can see, I have an attachment for it that makes it into a hand mixer. Because if you use the blades, it will not whip the semifreddo and doesn't give that nice kind of fluffy texture. So, thanks to this RoboCoupe, I can change it with ease. And just like that, this immersion blender is now a hand mixer. So Leah, you can help me, please mix. So as Leah is mixing this, it's gonna take at least a couple of minutes for the semifreddo and the milk and the cream to work together and fluff up. Now you want a medium speed at first, but as it's going, the higher the better. So Leah, for now it's okay. You make it faster. Semifreddo is a very versatile product. Normally, semifreddo, we use it for our gelato stick. But today I would like to showcase a different way of making semifreddo. Because maybe, you know, due to our conditions today, a lot of people have to work from home and maybe even start a business from home. So by making this semifreddo, I'm sharing you an idea what you can do with our semifreddo, which is turn it into a parfait, which is compact in a jar with very little fuss. Even kids can do it. So as you can see, only took about a minute for the semifreddo to thicken up. Okay, so this is ready. Same like the white base. Better that you age it first because we're making a parfait. But if you want to make gelato stick, you can instantly put it into a mold and blast freeze it. But for this one, I will first wrap it in a chiller and label it once again. And don't forget the date. So you want to leave this in the chiller for about maybe like 10 to 30 minutes to give that very nice thick texture that you want to get out of the semifreddo. It's very similar to a mousse of some sort. So Leah, please place it in the chiller. So once that's resting, I've already prepared a semifreddo from yesterday with the same ingredient. So Leah, please. Semifreddo, the one we already aged. So after you let the semifreddo age, it's very delicate, very soft, but yet still remain that very thick texture like a whipped cream. So as you can see, the gelato is already finished with the churning process. With the alarm, it already lets us know when it's time to extract the gelato. So here, already prepared a pan, about 5 liters, that's already been in the blast freezer the whole time. So now I will extract the gelato. As you can see, the gelato is very soft, very delicious and attractive to the eyes. Now with gelato, since it's a lot of air incorporated into it, you don't want to press it too much. Now I will pour some varigato on top of it. That's it. Thank you. Just give it a good mix. And the varigato. I will only use half of it for now. So you just want to marble the ingredient and give it that nice ripple to it. Look at those colors. Huh? Now, extract the rest of the gelato. And then what you do next is just pour the rest of the varigato on top. Varigato. So make sure you mix it well. Okay. And before we do anything, we must have to clean the gelato first. So now I will do the last minute touches on the gelato to give it its full kind of characteristic that I want to be. And then later I will garnish it with some choco brownies and then as well as some chocolate chip cookies. So then I'll use the gelato spade to give its kind of volume look. Just like that. As you can see, That's a very traditional way of a gelato look, with a very high structure that gives a perspective of its volume, as well as its very smooth texture. So Leah, that's for you. Then I will garnish it with some cookies. As well as some chocolate brownies. So after this stage, I will have to blast freeze it for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your use of it. If you want to instantly put it in the showcase, 10-15 minutes, but if you want to keep it to store for future use, then about half an hour.
Kenapa harus di blast freeze ya?
Oh, so the reason why you have to blast freeze, just to give you a quick information, blast freezing, the only purpose of it for gelato is for quality control. You don't want to make your gelato all nice and beautiful and then put it straight into the showcase and just gonna collapse. So you need something like a Hiber blast freezer to freeze it in an instant, because you want to maintain that nice structure to the gelato. So when it's time to serve to your customer, has a nice appearance and it's ready to eat. So now, next blast freezer. Okay. So here I've prepared 4 different glasswares that we can use to showcase different ways to present our semifreddo product. So here you have the simple mason jar, but gives it a very nice kind of rustic, old classic look to it. And then we have our coupe glass, our single rock, and also our double rock. Now, Ocean is made in Thailand, as well as Lucaris, but for today, Ocean is the choice because we want to show you and also let you know that we are the main official distributor of Ocean, as well as the importer. So next we will begin continuing to make the semifreddo. Leah will help me pour the semifreddo into the piping bag. Now this is the same semifreddo that we prepared earlier using the Yogin product. You want to push everything to the bottom first. Make sure you get all the air out. To plate this semifreddo, I will use the Fior di Fragola, which is also a MEC3 product. So this is similar to a Farigato, but the difference is Fiordis are more fruit-based compared to Farigatos. They're more creamy and nutty-based. And then I will garnish it with a little bit of granola as well, and then some mint on the top. I will use the mason jar. Yeah. Okay. So this is a very simple way. You know, maybe you want to sell from home, you can sell in mason jars or plastic jars like I mentioned before. But more of a restaurant scenario, you know, more fine dining, you would, best way to present it maybe using a glass. So just like this. Just fill up the bottom. As you can see, the semifreddo has thickened a lot compared to the one that it was before. So then we're gonna add a little bit of the Fior di Fragola on top. So this is a very simple way for you to make something that is unique, delicious, and a lot of room that you can play with. Okay, after Leah has already poured the Fior di Fragola, then I will sprinkle some of the granola we have here, and then repeat the process until you already have a full container. Okay. And now, the granola. Okay. Now we'll repeat the process again with the semifreddo. And then the Fior di Fragola. with the last touch of the granola. Sprinkle on the top. Then you want to garnish it with a mint. And then last minute touches of the cleaning up, and you have yourself a mixed berry, a strawberry parfait semifreddo. Okay. Next is using the Coupe glass. Now, for a fine dining restaurant, this would be a very desired glass because it's very luxurious look to it. So this one's gonna be very simple. Just gonna pour the semifreddo on the base here, and then the fior di fragola. As you can see, this product contains actual fruits of strawberry, because in Make 3 there is no artificial flavor and coloring. They are all from fresh ingredients sourced from across the world. Okay, that's good. A little bit of the granola, then a touch of mint, and also with the glass. So now for this one, I'll put the granola on the bottom. Okay. And the last one. Now I created a little crater here while we'll fill it up with the rest remaining of the fior di fragola. And then I'll fill it up with the granola. Okay. So these are 4 ways to present the semifreddo yogurt, which I put one in a mason jar. We have a nice coupe glass. Then we have the single rock glass, and then the double rock. I even also prepared some other flavors to give you an example of what you can do with the semifreddo. Now, these semifreddos that I prepared in the mason jar, just a very simple, basic, plain semifreddo with Oreo crumbs. And then I have a banoffee mocha brownie semifreddo parfait, which you can see there. So this is just to give you ideas of what you can do with it. Very simple. And also, for semifreddo, if you put it in a freezer temperature, you can actually make a semifreddo cake, because the semifreddo that we use right here are in a chiller, so about 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. And for this one is 12 to 16. So minus 16 to 12 degrees. So then I will plate this on this plate. So this gives it a very nice kind of frozen ice cream texture. So then I will garnish it with just a basic cookie crumbles. And then using Varigato whiskey cream, which I already put in a squeeze bottle. So as you can see, sky is the limit with semifreddo. You can do a cold, more ice cream cake kind of feel of the semifreddo, or you can do more of a mousse, nice light whipping cream texture to it. By the end of the day, with Make 3, anything is possible on the right hands. So voila, I would like to thank you for everybody participating in watching our segment today. And as you can see, by using Mac 3, and if you follow the right steps like I showed you today, you can get these kinds of results. And of course, thank you to my assistant Leah for helping me throughout the way. And thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.